not only did they not tone down the top 10, they did a little bit, but more is needed. But let's say the bottom 20, the top 20, they giga buffed the layer of characters directly under the top tiers. To be honest, if you are in your 20s today, you live life on nightmare difficulty. You know, I think it's a very hard community to please as well. Everyone says on Twitter, like, oh, nerf everyone. Nerf all the characters. Like, this is so bad, nerf them. But then as soon as they nerf a particular character, like, say, Anna or Brian, all of these character loyalists, the people who play these characters, start crying. What is wrong with being salty? I don't even understand what's the point. To me, salt is like entertaining, shows you're human.
Right.
Let's face it, Tekken can be the most rage-inducing game in the world.
Last time we talked, it was before season 2 even came out, and I remember we were talking about like predictions of it, and I was like, oh, maybe, I think I said this, we'll look back at season 1 as like the dark ages of Tekken 8, and then everything will be like smooth sailing from there. Didn't exactly go that way, huh?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I feel like people romanticize season 1 so much. I love when season 2 drops and it's a train wreck. And then people say, oh, we forgive you, season 1. Please come back. And then I just, okay, you want to go back to Kuma being an unstoppable death machine. And pops heat and just blows you up. Yeah, Jin, Brian. As bad as Brian is in season 2, and he's still, like, in my opinion, like top 3. But people got to understand, like, in season 1, Requiem was homing.
Yeah.
Core Circle Back 1, you know, on normal hit, knocked you down into a follow-up and then into Oki. Incinerator was homing. It's like that character is just, yeah, it's like, or Dragon of season 1. It's like, yeah, season 1, let's just say, was no picnic. But season 2 should have been so much better. That's the thing. It's just, whatever we got when they launched season 2, just how dumb were they? And then the audacity to say we focused on defense. Because look at these sidesteps, and then you add like 20 attacks that are homing plus mids, and you go like, but don't you guys get that it doesn't matter if you buff a sidestep if you put in attacks that have no counterplay?
Right.
Like, I don't know, such an unbelievably bad look for the developers. On this just bipolar decision making, you know, where it's like, I feel like someone at Bandai Namco is going like, okay, we need defense, and then someone else is like, okay, you put in defense, but now we gotta buff the characters, buff everyone, buff, and I'm just like, no, it's like this problem. And also, people romanticize Tekken 7 a lot. People can't stop doing this. You know, the grass was always greener on the other side. Tekken 7 was also a mess. And then you can feel that on a systematic level in general, you prefer Tekken 7, which is fine to say. But Tekken 7 also had a top 10 characters, the top tiers, in that roster who were unbelievably dumb. Unbelievably stupid. And this is the exact same problem in Tekken 8, where they have to tone down the best characters. And the problem with Season 2 was that what they did was, not only did they not tone down the top 10, they did a little bit, but more is needed. But let's say the bottom 20, the top 20, they giga buffed the layer of characters directly under the top tiers, making those characters almost as bad as the top tiers. And you just go like, oh, so the problem we had, you just exasperated it. You let it bleed through an even bigger chunk of a game now. And it's, but since then, you know, they've done a lot of emergency patches that have certainly helped the game to a great extent, you know, like heat engagers being +9 now instead of +17, 20 more HP, toned down a lot of these stupid decisions on a character basis. The sidesteps are significantly better. Rage arts are now -18. Like, good things are happening. It's just that with every emergency patch we get, I'm always sitting there like, you should have done 5 times more than you just did. But again, we're being so careful. But also we have this problem you see in the community where on one end, in one breath, everyone says on Twitter, like, oh, nerf everyone. Nerf all the characters. Like, this is so bad, nerf them. But then as soon as they nerf a particular character, like, say, Anna or Brian, all of these character loyalists, the people who play these characters, start crying and start going very aggressive on Twitter. Like, I'm sorry, but losers. Almost incels to me. Just crying every day on Twitter, posting 20 times, tweeting the developers, you fucking, you know, just in a very, let's say, unhelpful way. Like, how dare you nerf my character? Everyone else is the problem. And then you see, like, the two goats, Arslan and Ni, even join in this behavior. You know, Arslan as Nina, Ni as Brian, and they go, my character is balanced. Oh, my character is hard to play. Your character is the problem. Everyone else is the problem. My character is balanced. And then you go like, well, how are we ever going to fix this if even those two partake in these like character politics? Where it's like, what? Brian shouldn't be nerfed? Nina shouldn't be nerfed? Everyone else is the problem. So when the devs listen in on this, which I know they do, I mean, no wonder you get patches where characters don't get nerfed. Because on one end, people say, we need to tone everyone down, but on the other one, if you do nerf their character, they get super upset. I want to see nerfs to my character, Kazuya. Granted, I don't think he is, the big problem, but if it takes nerfing Kazuya to nerf the other guys, my God, go at it. Mm-hmm. And you can start with that Scourge, down 1+2. Why is that not -15 on block? So, that would be my point of view.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't really care about the state of the overall game. Like, I'm with you, right? Like, if I'm playing so I played Jin in season 1, right? And the whole time, even remember when people thought like Devil Jin was top tier when the game first came out? From day one, I was always like, no, Jin is like ridiculous, way better than Devil Jin, like top 3 character. And the whole time I've been like, all the nerfs he needed, right? Like get rid of Scourge, 214, all that. And now I'm left in season 2 and I'm like, okay, like we're getting there with this character. Honestly, you could still nerf more, but I'm not like so devoted to my character that I'd like forsake the game's balance just to protect them. And that seems so like bizarre to me. I want the game to be like in a healthy state. When characters are balanced, everyone benefits, right? We're all gonna have a better time. Ranked will become better. Tournament play becomes better. Like I just don't understand it. Like I get it if it was like, oh, your character's gonna get nerfed but no others, but no, people on Twitter, they'll get just so mad when you propose nerfing. You should see all the Ana players. The Ana players they're going crazy. Like, we just got nerfed. Leave her alone. That's like the funniest one.
Yeah. They use the wording. Yeah, I don't know. I looked at, like, I don't use Twitter. So when this whole Arslan E thing went down, I looked at some of the tweets, and so many like Giga Sweat Anna's top Ana players say, they nerfed her into the fucking ground. And I don't know if you've labbed Anna, but what they did was hammer chance 1+2. The vertical bazooka strike went from +6 to +2. Mm-hmm. And the string hammer chance 2-1-2, which on the third hit involves the same vertical bazooka strike, +2, not +6. And they nerfed her debuff a little bit. It does less chip now, still does a lot. But that's basically it. Yeah. If you look at her tools, she's undeniably top 1 still. And then they still use the wording, nerfed her into the fucking ground. But it's the problem is people can't stay objective. People get emotional. People can't look at things rationally. And it's just everyone else's character is the problem. Mine is not. And it's... I don't know. I don't know how to please these people. I think it's a very hard community to please as well. How do you please a community that wants to see every character nerfed except their own?
Right? Yeah.
But also, when I play ranked online and I go up against, there's too many characters now where I want to gouge my eyes out when I play. Hwoarang in his current state is just beyond insufferable. It's like the plague. Alyssa is like rodent hazardous bacteria that I just want to stay away from. Clive also, Asuka. There's just too many characters where I don't even want to partake with this. And if fixing it means my character gets nerfed, I am so on board with that. I absolutely don't mind Kazuya getting nerfed if it means those characters come down. You know, if that's the price we gotta pay, like, please go at it. Because, yeah, Nina in her current form, Horang, Brian, Anna, Alyssa, Asuka, it's no one stands to gain here. No one stands to gain to have a game where those characters are in their current states.
Yeah, dude, it's like it's so weird. Intrinsically, like I would think this it's kind of like when you see the people who are like being like this, like, yeah, don't nerf my character, nerf everyone else, blah blah blah. It makes me think like, yeah, these people, are they just selfish? Are they lacking like passion for the game? Because if you were passionate about the game, in my mind at least, like, yeah, you'd want what you said. Everyone benefits, and we're in such a deep hole right now. Maybe we all do need to like sacrifice a little bit. Maybe you need to sacrifice one little bit of your perfect easy character for the sake of this game's longevity. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, people aren't willing to do that. I don't think it's actually like what I said. I don't think it's actually people who are lacking passion for the game. It's probably just like emotional responses. And God knows, right? On social media, on any of these platforms, you're not having any like constructive conversation ever. Like Twitter is designed, it literally character limits you. It's literally designed to limit how people can communicate. I'm sure you get people in your stream chats. I know I do all the time as well. There's no productive like conversations actually happening here. And people will just whine. It makes it so easy.
Yeah, but a huge factor for me is that gamers are gamers. And then, you know, we have gamers. And then we have competitive gamers, like Street Fighter players, etc., Counter-Strike gamers, Call of Duty gamers, Fortnite, and it starts getting increasingly sweaty.
Right.
And then you can take it one step further and look at Tekken gamers, Virtua Fighter gamers, Dota players, and suddenly you are at the most elitist or sweaty chunk of gamers. It really is the gamer's gamer. You gotta understand, like, a lot of Dota players at the top echelons of MMR and also in Tekken, you don't understand how devoted they are to the game. And that leads to this outrageous reaction to Season 2 where people lose their minds, and it's almost like you killed someone in their family because it affects them on a personal level so much. Like, I thought about this lately when I play in Ranked. A lot of the people I go up against, they have more matches in Tekken 8 than I do. And this game is my job. I'm at like 8,000 matches. I can't, on a consistent basis, I go up against people who have 10 to 20,000 matches. Like, it's hard to understand how much these people play the game. But you can also see this if you look at Twitch streamers on any given day. You'll see that a lot of people who stream Tekken, they work their day job, but then after that they come home and they stream the Tekken the rest of their day, and then they go to sleep. And on the weekends, they stream Tekken. So you are looking at people who, if they're not working, or if they're not studying, they are playing Tekken. Some of these people also have no jobs. They live at home with their parents, and they play Tekken all the time. We got to remember when we talk about Tekken gamers, you are talking about the most hardcore population of gamers. These people very often lack social skill. They're low on empathy. They're low on emotional intelligence. Social awareness is low. And that leads to, I think, interactions on the internet where it's just me, and I'm special. I can't see outside of my bubble. I can't see other people's experience. I get highly emotional. I'm very immature. Can't see other people's perspective. There's an important question to remember with fighting games and competitive games. And it's like, one question is, how does my character feel to operate? How strong does he feel? The other question is, what does it feel like for the opponent going up against my character? What is it like being on the receiving end of this. And that is something, that's the question the developers forgot about when they designed Season 2. And all of these low emotional intelligence people we see on Twitter, they're completely oblivious to it. And they only live in their little bubble where their precious little ego, where their character is super difficult and and balanced. Anna is balanced, and everyone else is the problem. So it's very hard for them to agree on things. It's like, in my opinion, like Arslan and Nee, it's not even a debate. They both have points, and they could just see it in 2 seconds. Arslan could just say, you know what, it's true. Brian is harder to play than Nina. But they are both like specialist characters. But Brian is more difficult. But it's no doubt they are both top 5.
Sure.
We can absolutely agree here. They're in the same, sort of tier, And Nee can just say, God, but what is Nee's point? Nee could just say, yeah, Brian needs some nerfing. Instead, Nee's completely hung up on like, well, no one else, all of you guys are tier whores. And you all complain about Brian all the time, but I don't see none of you play Brian. He's too difficult for you guys. And he has a point. And Arslan could acknowledge that. That is absolutely true. But Nee also has to acknowledge that even if Brian is difficult to play, he shouldn't have all of these things going for him. To a certain extent, your character should be a little bit stronger. You should be rewarded for difficulty, because difficulty leads to inconsistency, especially in tournaments where there's a lot of nerves. But there should be a limit to the fucking properties of the moves. And I wish Nee would just acknowledge that. But yeah, Brian does need nerves.
Yeah, dude, the Nee Arslan thing is so funny. Because you're right. Like, on one hand, they're doing what everyone else is doing on Twitter. Yeah. I will say, part of me wants to give them a little bit more leeway, because it is like their careers. Like, at least these people, when they're like having these dumb replies to each other, like this immature shit, it's like it's their career. Like, they're worried about money. Like if my character gets nerfed, it's going to affect my income, perhaps. Like, if that's a thought in their mind, I'd say at least that might be a little bit more reasonable than all the people who are in like Fujin, and yet they're going to war on Twitter. It's like, tier lists literally have zero impact on your level of play anyway. But
yeah,
I mean, on the other hand as well, now this may just be like my personal take, I think it's kind of cool, because this is leading to like more, I feel like we lack storylines these days in like modern Tekken tournaments and all fighting games, really. Did you see that apparently Justin Wong is setting up like a money match at EVO? They were talking about like doing a 20k money match between the two to like end the beef. Like, I think that's pretty interesting for the community. I think that's like an interesting event.
Justin Wong wants to set up a money match between he and Arslan.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, he was talking about doing that at EVO, like a grudge match, like a first to five, grudge match. I doubt either of them are holding any real grudges. Like, I'd be these are like adult men. They don't seem like the kind of people that get like too petty. It is just like Twitter after all. I mean, do you think it's like super serious?
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I've seen he get pretty petty. I mean, he did the whole, fuck you, Scrapman thing with me, where I was just like,
I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, I was just like, and this was what, 5 years ago, and I was just astounded at like, I never wrote like fuck you to him. I just disagreed with him. I just said, yeah, he said how Akuma and Geese shouldn't be in the game.
Right.
And then I just wanted to give him a casual gamer's perspective who, a lot of people thought it was super cool seeing this mix of fighting games. Like, oh, Street Fighter is now in Tekken. Like, a lot of casual gamers thought that was super cool. And I think it was part of Tekken 7's huge success, because Street Fighter 4 was destroying Tekken and all the other fighting games. So I think people forget that back in those days, like, Street Fighter was 100 times bigger than Tekken. Tekken 7 was what made Tekken big. Right. A lot of people forget that, and I think Akuma had a part in that. So, Nee just writes, they should never have been in the game. Look, they don't work in competitive play. And I was like, yeah, let's rob all of these millions of people the opportunity to play these characters in Tekken just because they don't work in comp play. And then it's just immediately this super aggressive reaction, like, shut the hell up, hella scrap man, fuck you. And it's funny if it's like, if he's jesting a little bit and he's ribbing. But knowing what I've heard of Ni from people there are a lot of Swedish players have spent a lot of time in Korea. I already had heard from them, but Ni gets really, really petty.
Okay.
And has a huge ego. Yeah, very childish. And I was just like, I immediately knew, like, oh my God, he's for real. And then the entire Tekken community came down on me. All of these big people in the community, yeah, fuck you, aha, Ella Scrub, fuck that guy, fuck him. And I was just like, oh my God, like, yeah, this is how it works. I was just like, I felt a bit naive because I was like, part of me would think like, I don't expect any applause from these people, like in terms of, well, thanks for making videos for 100 years.
Yeah.
Trying to bring new people into the game, trying to teach people Tekken. That's good for the community, you know. Never expected that. But some form of neutrality I did expect. But everyone basically wanted to see me crash and burn and wanted me gone. And I realized that, okay, so my peers, other content creators and streamers, they only see me as competition. And they want me gone. And it was sort of a wake-up moment for me. But then I realized that this is how people operate. If you've ever read about any, like, sorry, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent if you don't mind me.
Go ahead.
But if you've heard about any, like, competitive creative space, you see people's true colors and what they are. And it's basically backstabbing.
Right.
I want to succeed, and I want to see you die, basically. It's like I heard top-tier comedians who've been on Saturday Night Live. They talked about what it was like there, where everyone walks around friendly in your face, but behind your back, they would go to the people in charge, like Lorne Michaels, I think his name is, who was the head of SNL, and they'll try to bury you. They get your sketch buried, get you to have no influence on the show, give you preferably no airtime. They should use their sketch instead. They should get the airtime. So these are top-tier comedians who just say that if you went to Saturday Night Live, you had no friends there. You'd think you could get friends, like people are nice to you, but everyone was just out for themselves, like super cutthroat business. And then, you know, you hear about wrestlers, trying to bury each other. Triple H, Hulk Hogan, all of these, John Cena, all of these top wrestlers, because they see everyone else as competition. More for me, less for you. And that's just how it works. It's a very business-oriented mindset. But it's just not how I operate. And I found some good people in this community, like Arya, That Blasted Salami. Lil Majin is a really good person. He's like genuinely a very good man. And I'm pleased to have met him, you know, at a point. And I've met Arya multiple times. And it's like, I don't know, I found that rare to see, you know. And I don't know, a lot of people just can't look past themselves. And it's not what's good for the community, it's what's good for them. So it's very sad. But yeah, no, I've absolutely no difficulty seeing Ni at least being super petty about this. And I've seen him have, you know, let's just say write some very unpleasant things to other people as well. Granted, I don't know Ni. I'm just going from my interaction with him and what I've heard. And I also thought for a second, I was just like, are they just doing this to create sort of a Twitter drama? Like they're both in on it and it's like, it's good for business. Yo, Ni, Arslan maybe reaches out to Ni. Let's try and start some rivalry shit. You know, we can both gain on it. But the more I've seen them write, they both sound incredibly petty. And it's, in my opinion, a bad look for both of them. So, yeah, I don't know. And I don't know, it's just, it comes off as just very childish to me.
Yeah, with the whole knee thing, just to like steelman it, okay? This would be my if I'm being like the most charitable to knee, so like go back to like the Scrupman beef. I remember that when that happened. Um,
Yeah.
what if there was like a scenario where he put out his tweet about hating guest characters. You had a very polite, like reasonable response. What if like, oh, I disagree with this guy, and he kind of like did like it was a short tweet, right? It was just like he said, well, "Shut up, hella scrub man." Like,
Yeah.
what if he just typed that little tweet and it was like, yeah, it's pretty aggressive, but he was just like didn't really think about it too much, and it's one tiny tweet. I feel like there is a possible world where like he didn't really think about it. Like that whole thing was not supposed to happen. He said that potentially in passing because I don't feel like I feel like if he wanted to be like super malicious, he would have done a better job at it. Like I feel like there's a lot like if you want to be malicious and like super harsh and start shit, like the Scrub
Yeah.
Man, I don't know, it felt so like meme coded to me. So like if I'm being like my most charitable, I feel like sometimes on Twitter you can like kind of detonate a bomb accidentally and then it explodes so much further from like you. I don't know, do you think like Nee in that like one tweet, do you think he was acting like super maliciously and wanted to start like big fights, or do you think he maybe like possibly didn't think about like the implications, didn't think that like you guys are both super big names and this would like a bunch of people would start attacking? Like, do you think that could have been a possibility, or
The reality here, Bugard, is that I gotta be completely frank here. Like it came off as insanely petty to me.
okay?
But his intentions were made very clear later when they tried to basically bury me as a racist.
Oh, okay.
I
I
mean, do
didn't
you
know about
remember
that.
that part?
No.
They tried to paint me as a racist.
Okay.
And I did say, which I apologize for, I said something unfortunate. I said that Korea has the dirtiest Tekken scene.
Okay.
And this was based on things I had heard from Swedes who had been there. A lot of people don't know about this, but Korea has had a very problematic Tekken scene. Yeah, like fist fights over Tekken, unbelievable amounts of bullying that
Sure.
people have been on the receiving ends of. People have been sued over Tekken multiple times.
Oh my
It's
god.
the dumbest shit you've ever heard of. So I say on stream, when everyone's coming down on me, I get heated and I say they have the dirtiest scene.
Sure.
You know, and then Nee and a couple of other Korean players, the top players, are trying to get this hate mob on Twitter going against me that I'm a racist.
Oh my god. Okay.
And to me, once you do that, now you have shown your character. And I'll never fucking respect you for real again.
Dude.
I'll
Yeah.
never do it. Now, to me, when people start shit like that on Twitter, trying to get people canceled, trying to paint them in the worst light, to me, it's just that's not what people do.
Sure.
And that's not what men do, to me. You don't start ratting to the principal like some, I don't know, it's just trying to get, you know, gossipy, trying to get a hate mob formed. It's just, yeah, I gotta say, I'm not impressed. I am not impressed. I respect Nee as one of the GOATs, potentially the greatest Tekken player of all time. I've seen him play since like 2005. Still blown away by his defensive play. He's probably the best defensive player in the world. I'm never shy of talking about how great Nee is as a Tekken player, you know, and the best Brian ever. But as a person, he has not impressed me. No.
Huh. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that you're right. That definitely changes. Like if it was just like the
Yeah.
tweet, like things can kind of be misinterpreted. But if you're like going that far, I definitely agree with you. So yeah, that's understandable. And dude, all that, it's so funny. All that stuff started, and I feel like you were just 100% right in your original statement. The whole thing about guest characters, like all you were saying was like, what? Like, guest characters are good for the growth of the series. It's good for the community. The whole thing stemmed from
Yeah.
that, and to me, that's just like objectively true. I think that's
Yeah.
pretty funny. One, okay, just on the topic of that then, because this is something I wanted to ask you about. So on the topic of like the hate mobs, cancel culture, this is a super big thing in our field and any like online content now. Especially with streamers. I feel like it's by far the worst with streamers, right? Because when you're playing like 8 hours a day, every day, like, or you're streaming
Yeah.
big hours,
Yeah.
you can't censor yourself, right? You can't like play a character. Eventually, you have to be yourself if you're putting in these hours, right? And which means like we are humans. Human beings like have different emotions. So something I've been noticing recently is like the tilt. So I've been seeing some people were posting clips about like you tilting. I know you have the channel, right? You have a hate channel. You told me about it last time. People are like,
Yeah.
"MainManSWE is so salty," and I watch your stream and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like you're overwhelmingly positive. Like I hear you like complimenting players whenever I'm watching. And then I realized like if anyone's playing ranked for 8 hours, is anyone not going to get mad at some point? Like you're putting in all these huge hours. Who doesn't get mad playing Tekken? Like the average player, right? The average player when they're playing ranked, they're definitely getting mad. It's just they don't have a camera in front of them. So I guess where I was going with this is like, do you feel like people put like these insane, like unreal expectations on streamers?
I mean, of course, yeah, of course people do.
Yeah.
Of course they do. But I mean, that sort of criticism has never meant anything to me because I always, it's a thing people don't stream, salty, blah blah.
Yeah.
But the criticism, I always go like, what's wrong with being salty?
Sure.
I,
It's just normal.
I've never had someone explain that to me. What is wrong with being salty? I don't even understand what's the point.
It's
What is the criticism? To me, salt is like entertaining, shows you're human.
right.
Let's face it, Tekken can be the most rage-inducing game in the world. I don't like.
Yeah.
To me, it's like if you play this game and you never get slightly heated.
Do you
I mean,
care?
are you a robot? And to me, it's like I wouldn't even want to watch that stream because I wouldn't be able to relate to it at all. But I've never that sort of criticism. I just don't understand it. What is wrong with being salty? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like if you start BMing all the time, like key charging, teabagging, plugging, as I play a lot of Dead by Daylight, and it's like I'm the least toxic player I know. Never teabag a killer. I never flashlight. And when a match is over, I leave immediately. I never BM.
Sure.
I never plug. When I play Tekken, I never key charge. I never teabag. I never plug. I never BM. I've never in my life have I sent anyone a hate mail. Ever playing Tekken or playing any other game. So, but I'm a very no filter person.
Right.
So when I get, I'm mostly when I stream, like people say I'm super toxic. I'm very far away from toxic.
That's what
I get annoyed at times, but to me it's like, what the fuck is wrong with that? And yeah, I am very no filter. So when I do get annoyed, I get annoyed. But I don't know. That's me though.
Yeah. And like what you said, like, yeah, what's wrong with that? A lot of people think there is something wrong. And that's, yeah, it's so weird. This is in all gaming communities, I'm sure. Though I want to say it does feel a little bit worse in fighting games. Like, I feel like if you're toxic in like League of Legends or some even like Dota, I feel like it's more like normalized and like not even being toxic, just being like a little bit salty. But I don't know, for some reason, like I'll do like a big stream, right? Like I'm playing for like 6 hours and I'll get like frustrated and I'll be angry and I'll be like cheesed for like 10 minutes of that whole stream. And like it'll get clipped and I'll hear people say like, oh yeah, he's so toxic. It's like, you try playing the game for this long and not getting a little bit mad. I mean, back to what you said, what's wrong with getting mad in the first place? It shows you're human, right? But I don't know, it just feels like a lot of people have issues with that. I wonder where that comes from. Do you think it's just like people's feelings are getting hurt by like, are they personally offended? It's so weird.
I just think words have lost their meaning on the internet. Like, oh my god, he's annoyed at Alyssa. He said fuck Alyssa players. Is that toxic?
Yeah.
Is that toxic? When I think of like the proper word of toxic, I think of like, child labor, human trafficking,
Yeah.
drug epidemic, murder, maybe. Like gamer getting annoyed playing a game, is that toxic? I don't know, but it's the internet.
Yeah.
Like you gotta understand, to me, internet criticism, whatever I get on Twitch or Reddit on Twitter, it couldn't have less significance to me or my life. I have my inner circle. I have people. I care about what my friends and family think of me.
Yeah.
That's what I do. And then I have a certain few other people I've gotten to know through the internet where I do care about their opinion of me because I trust them as people. And honestly, I think we have forgotten that like respect is earned. Like, why would I respect the opinion of people I don't know? Or people who are so quick to judge as well. It's like, I know people have issues with, reactions I have to some of my viewers at times. They're like, oh my God, look, he's being toxic. He's yelling at that poor guy in the chat. But it's like, you gotta understand, as a streamer, every day you have people going, you suck, fuck you, salty idiot, you're ugly, go fuck yourself. My God, you're fucking worthless. I'm not gonna sit and give those people a nice response.
Right.
Sometimes they get banned by the moderator, or sometimes I justify tell them to go fuck themselves. Fuck you. And to me, it's just, that's the natural order, natural way of things. Like, respect is earned.
Sure.
In my opinion, you should tell those guys to go fuck themselves. And you can say, well, just ignore them. But it's like, sometimes you do that. Sometimes you don't. And at the end of the day, I guess people expect the streamer, and these streamers exist, who just either just ban those or always ignore it, never call it out, just sit there and only respond to the friendly people. You need to be a follower for 24 hours to even be able to type in the chat. And they have 70,000 moderators where someone even hints at being critical, they get banned immediately. I don't like that, personally. I like when we get debates going and I have people who disagree with me in my chat, who aggressively disagree with me. I like taking conversations with those people.
Right.
And sometimes I like telling them, no, you're being fucking dumb. You don't see this, you don't see this, you don't see this. I like that. And I think that makes for an engaging and fun stream.
Yeah.
And that's a stream I would want to watch, because that's always the content I'm making. I'm being me, and I do things I think are interesting. And I make YouTube videos that I would want to watch. So it's like, I guess I kind of believe in my product in that way. But absolutely, people hold streamers to people hold everyone to an absurd degree. I mean, what even is the internet anymore? Like, what does it take to get canceled on the internet? Oh, he farted in an elevator. Cancel him. He tried to ask a girl out at the gym. Oh, he's a creep.
Dude,
he's a rapist. Cancel him. It's like, I mean, celebrities these days, note that I'm not a celebrity, but when you look at what's going on, it's like, celebrities, if you're not Jesus Christ, No, Jesus Christ himself would get canceled in 2025. I don't know. It's like, again, I'm not on social media. I don't like the internet. It just happens that with my job, I have to take on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, you have no clue how weird it was for me to be on vacation for 2 weeks. And I'm surrounded by the best people I know, like my family and my friends. And it's so nice for 2 weeks. It's just so unbelievably nice. And I have 2 weeks straight with my son.
Yeah.
I co-parent. I get him every other week, so I have 2 weeks with him, and it's just the best. It is so amazing. And then after those 2 weeks, I haven't streamed, right? I come back to streaming, and immediately it's like, it's nice, I have my regulars, but it's like, oh, you idiot. Why did you do that? And I play against some sweaty Tekken players just BMing all the time, doesn't rematch. And again, you get this criticism in the chat, fuck you, you don't know that much. And you're just like, you're just reminded again, like, oh, right, I'm back on the internet now.
Yeah.
Like, to me, the internet isn't real. Like, the way people talk to each other on the internet and behave, it's like, it's not real to me.
Sure.
Too many people can't handle anonymity. And full well, 99% of these people, they don't conduct themselves like that IRL.
Of course.
I still remember meeting some of my worst haters at a tournament 10 years ago, and they were very timid. And they were people who didn't socialize a lot. you know.
Mhm.
But it's again like the internet holds itself to no standard, but the streamers held to an exceptionally high standard.
Right.
Oh, main man lashed out at those poor guys in the chat. Yeah, those poor guys who for 3 hours wrote horribly obnoxious stuff.
Yeah.
And then, God forbid, you tell them to go fuck themselves, as you should, to be honest. If someone came up to me IRL and acted like that, I'd tell them to go fuck themselves, as you should. Shouldn't give those people respect. So it's this very weird thing where the streamer has to be an angel, but people forget that the internet and Twitch chatters are no angels.
Right.
It's people behaving very, very poorly a lot of the time. But that's not to say I don't want to sit here and complain because, and I don't make a point about complaining about this stuff because I'm super lucky. Every day I feel blessed to have a job I do. It's my dream job, and 99% of the time I get like I have the most loving audience.
Yeah.
So I'm in a very luxury position, you know, where people are so nice to me. So I tend to not complain about this stuff because I don't see the negative 1%. I don't care about them. But I reflect upon it once in a while. And now that you touched upon the conversation, that is my perception of things. And that's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, first of all, I think your method of doing it is like perfect. Like, you shouldn't be on social media. Like, no one should really. It's just, I feel like it might just be intrinsically bad for you. I feel like the negatives probably just outweigh all the pros of being on there, especially in these gaming communities.
You're off for 2 weeks and you have just the most loving and wholesome vibes. You know,
Yeah.
it's 10 out of 10. And then you go back to streaming and it's just like it just takes you back a bit. You're like, oh right, this is how people behave
Yeah.
on the internet. This is what I gotta put up with. Sweaty gamers with like never go outside, no emotional intelligence, no empathy, just whatever goes, write whatever the fuck they want. It's just like, what a fucking cesspool. But I could take it better now because I've gotten accustomed to it. But yeah, I remember years ago when for the first time, I very rarely take out vacation, but when I took a long time off and I came back and I was, Jesus. It just shocked me like, oh, right, this is what I'm used to. Like, yeah, it's just you recalibrate pretty quickly when you're off the internet for a while. But again, the internet for me is my stream. That's it. And when I don't read YouTube comments, I'm not on social media. I despise social media. I think we talked about this. I think Twitter is to the detriment of mankind. I think it's just, it adds nothing. It dumps everyone down. People who tweet like 10 times per day are typically people you don't want to hang out with IRL.
Right.
Most of the time. It's just, yeah, I can't, I don't have one positive thing to say about social media. And also what it does to like people's sense of self and social anxiety anxiety in general, generalized anxiety. I think that's a psychological term, it's a psychiatrist term. It's on the rise in Sweden, especially among young people, especially among young girls. It's like skyrocketing. And I mean, is this a shock when everyone lives their life on their phone and you compare yourself to not people who live in your neighborhood or in your school, but you compare yourself to the entire world because you have them in your pocket and you go, why am I not as famous? Why am I not as good looking? Why am I not as rich? Why am I not as perfect? And at the same time, all of your friends around you, they just post their highlights on Instagram.
Yeah.
They just post, I did this. I traveled to this place. I got married. I did this. Oh, look at my awesome friends. Oh, look at me at the gym. And it's like everyone just posts their highlights. And out of sight, out of mind. You don't understand that. Those people have the exact same problems you do. You know, you see that perfect marriage? Well, it's probably not fucking perfect because every couple have issues. Everyone has problems.
Right.
But you don't see it and your brain doesn't compute it because that's not how your brain works. You just see an endless feed of like perfect highlight, perfect highlight, perfect highlight. And you go, why does my life suck?
Yeah.
And it's like, to me, it's like no wonder people are getting more anxious. So, but to me, again, it's gonna be like in 10 years' time, I think we're just gonna look at social media as like it's just not good.
Yeah. It's it's yeah, it's horrible. I agree with everything you said.
No.
It's just destroys your mind. For people watching, if you want to improve your mental health vastly, like cut that shit
Yeah.
out. You'll be very surprised how quickly you start like just like feeling better, like the anxiety thing for sure. If you've ever been
Yeah.
like stuck inside of your house for a couple days, I don't know if you felt this. Have you ever had a couple days where you don't really go talk to many people, and then you notice, like, at least for me, like I do start getting anxiety. Like the longer I don't go outside and I stay online, like just on my phone or on my stream or whatever, I start feeling that as well. So yeah, it happens all the time, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty extrovert as a person, so I need to talk to people.
Hmm.
And that's the worst part about being a streamer. It's you don't have colleagues, and that's something I miss so much, like
Yeah.
colleagues, and it can really fuck you up. That's why you have to be so careful when you work from home. If you're a bit more on the extroverted side, to make sure you in your calendar systematically schedule social appointments, like meeting friends, family, because yeah, I'm a person. If I'm at home like 4 days straight without going out, I start getting anxiety, and
Yeah.
my self-esteem starts going down, and I quickly can get social anxiety. Like
Hmm.
going outside, talking to someone, I can feel a little bit forced at first. You can feel anxious about it. It's to me, it's like it's so rapid for me
Yeah.
that that effect of like going down. It's so rapid. So no, I go outside every day now, and that's how I stay sane. Yeah.
I always used to think like that streaming and like reading the chat would be like somewhat of an equal to like real life social interaction. Like I'd think, oh,
Oh
maybe that would
fuck
fulfill
no,
that niche. Not even close. It is like
not
so
even
far
close.
removed. Holy shit.
No, I think it's built into you. Like you need to be in the same room as someone else. You need to
Mm,
see people around you, and that I don't
right.
know. It does something to your brain. Not even phone calls can replace that. It's like
Dude,
you need to
yes.
be in the same physical presence as other people. So no, it's definitely something I've learned over time because this was not apparent to me at first,
Mm,
and I learned the hard way. I would like crash out completely a few times, and then I would just realize I would start googling like, what the hell is happening to me? And there was a huge study done in Sweden with COVID, 2020, where a huge chunk of the workforce due to COVID started working from home,
right.
and like 70% after doing it for 3 months reported significantly increased levels of generalized anxiety, social anxiety, and depression. 70% just felt it over 3 months. So it's very real. But also I have an acquaintance who's like he's a programmer,
Mm.
and he's more on the introverted side, and he can stay indoors legit 2 weeks straight, and he doesn't even feel it. So it's like I guess we're all programmed a little bit differently. But me, I feel it very quickly.
Yeah, there's definitely like different strengths and weaknesses for different people, but I feel like just like as a blanket thing, like if you're like in general in life, like if you're feeling down, a good place to start is like getting your head from your screen, right? Like going outside, like nature, talk to some other people. I think we all need to do more of that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, well, if you don't have anyone to meet, just walk outside and touch grass. Go
Start
for a
there.
walk. Go to the gym. People are around you. Like these are things you should be doing to look after yourself.
Of
You know,
course.
uh, and that's something I feel more and more now that I've turned 40.
Mhm.
When you're 25, everything is given to you for free when it comes to health.
Yeah.
It's like I still remember being 25, not working out, and I could run 6 sets of stairs, and I wouldn't feel it too much. You'd be a little bit winded, but you could immediately do whatever. Whereas now, if I don't work out, this is something I noticed last year when I wasn't working out. I ran the 6 sets of stairs up to my apartment, and after that, I was winded. to the point where I couldn't talk on my stream and I couldn't talk to my then girlfriend. I was
Oh.
so winded. It's the first time ever experienced that. And I just realized that, yeah, as you grow older, you get less and less for free. And you have to work out now, not only to perform well, but to maintain. So, yeah, I can't stress enough to everyone that, work out, get to bed in time, don't stay up gaming all night, sleep 8 hours, eat well, don't be overweight, exercise, go out every day, even if it's just taking a walk. You have like no clue how much that does for your well-being, and I'm not talking simply about your physical body here, but mental health as well. So
Right.
I can't stress that enough.
Well, listen, I'm gonna keep that in mind, okay? Because I'm in my 20s. I gotta lock in
Yeah.
on my future. So you think like get these habits going now, so I set myself up later, like focus on that
Yeah,
really heavily.
I mean, why not? Why not? I mean, my to be honest, my worst decade was my 20s. I mean, most of my 20s, I had a lot of, not that I didn't have good times, but I had a lot of anxiety and a lot of felt like nothing was going my way, and I wasn't doing everything I could to look after myself. I didn't have super healthy habits. So I think the earlier you start picking up these habits, the better for you. And I think a lot of young men these days are not having a blast in their 20s. So I would just go like, well, try these habits and see what they do for you.
Does it get better? Does it get better after your 20s?
Oh yeah, I mean, I can say the start of my 30s were incredible. I was in a bad relationship, but it was very good and bad. But then I had my son, who is the best thing I have, and he's the best. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. That's just peak for me. So my 30s have been just progressively better.
Okay.
Especially like I would say the last 3 years have been really, really good. I think I'm in a really great place right now. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. My 20s, they were not very good. Early 30s, okay-ish, but it's gotten better and better. And I wonder how many men will say the same thing, that it's like, my 20s not so good, but then you just get progressively happier. Yeah, I don't know. So I feel like it's going in the right direction. Yeah.
That definitely seems like a common thing. Like if you've talked about like men's mental illness, I bet you it's heavily skewed towards like 20s. I'm sure like teenage years to probably
Yeah.
like mid 20s is where that's mostly happening. There's so much to deal with, but I mean, listen,
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that like it does it doesn't just like get worse. Like you can keep getting better and setting yourself up for later, and then yeah, everything could be great.
Yeah, I mean, just don't let yourself be defeated by setbacks. you
That's
know
the biggest thing.
uh yeah, I've had huge setbacks in my life, but when it got to the point where it was like ultra bad, like ultra bleak, that just it knocked me so hard into the ground that I just felt like it just gave me a tremendous amount of motivation, just like, you fix this now. And then I got back on my feet, and within 2 months I had fixed more in 2 months than I had the prior 10 years. And that's not an exaggeration.
Wow.
So, just for those listening, just try to please, if you have setbacks, see it as an opportunity to try again. Like, you are very much allowed to mourn something that bad that has happened in your life. But once you've dried your tears, just get back on the saddle and try again. Don't be the person, but because that is the incel.
Yeah.
The guy who has a setback and says, "No, fuck everyone. This was society's fault. This was my friend's fault, my family, my parents' fault. Everyone else set me up to fail. It's not my fault. Fuck them all." And then you just sit at home. Who cares? Who cares about trying? Because fuck the society, fuck everything. And I'm sorry, that's a loser.
Yeah.
That's a loser. And you might not see yourself as a loser. You might think everyone else. I mean, my God, when I was at my worst, I still remember almost gravitating toward these ideas. I'd meet people younger than me who were engineers already when I was like 25. And they were engineers. They were gonna start their careers. They were gonna get apartments, and I was like, honestly, I was like, these suckers, like paying into the 9 to 5, paying into this whole what you got to do in society. But that was just me. I think it was a coping mechanism for me, just feeling so worthless.
Right.
It was a coping. I just twisted it to somehow fit a more positive, I guess, outlook for myself. That instead of seeing myself as a failure, just like, well, they're just paying into the garbage. Like, but it's like all of it is cope. It's just you have to get out of that. That's so yeah. It's just yeah. Word of advice.
Dude, yeah, you have a lot of good advice. I'm listening because I'm learning. There's a lot I feel like I can learn from you. So I'm sure there's a lot of people watching who can benefit from this as well. Because yeah, you've been doing all this stuff for a while, right? And like you said, you've had hard times and you've gotten through it, and now you can, say that you're happier than ever, right? Everything's going great, so you can get
Hey,
through
thanks,
it.
man. Yeah, but you'd also hope when you've been around for a while that you have a little bit of things to share, some life experiences. But yeah, I know a lot of guys are struggling these days. And to be honest, if you are in your 20s today, but even for me, as a 40-year-old man, you live life on nightmare difficulty. Because
Sure.
my father, he could get an apartment in central Stockholm like that. He could get a job just walking into a store and say, I'd like to work here. And, oh, you're hired. We need people. Like, and there were so many vacant apartments as well. Like, and it was easier meeting someone back then as well. Like hooking up with a girlfriend. People hook up less these days, much more
Yeah.
single households. Like, if you want to get a career and buy a nice apartment as a guy these days, and get a nice lady, like it's statistically proven it is significantly difficult.
Right.
Like wages in Stockholm, the last 30 years, wages have gone up 30% or something. Cost of living has gone up 400%.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't. To get, you could be working class and buy an apartment 30 years ago in Stockholm, as my parents did. Now, to buy an apartment in Stockholm, you have to be upper middle class. You almost have to touch upon like wealthy salaries. If you want to be alone and buy an apartment, like you almost have to be wealthy. So they're talking more and more about like to get somewhere in life now, young people and young men, they're looking more at like you have to inherit money. Or your parents, your boomer parents have to give you huge amounts of money as a starting capital. But me, I got no money from my parents, so, and most of my life, I worked very low level jobs, like very, very low level jobs where I couldn't even save money. So it's only the last few years where, God willing, inshallah, I've made some, so lucky me. I'm super happy about that. I've been able to save. So wanna buy an apartment for me and the kid, so just saving. Yeah.
It definitely also like contributes to like younger people feeling like helpless. Like I hear a lot about people, they're like, oh, I'll never be able to do it, I'll never be able to afford to like buy a house anymore, like all these stressors, and then you add on to everything else, right? So it's
Yeah.
harder than ever before. Like you said, back in the day, you get a job, you can get a house. Like that's like a reasonable thing. Like if you work hard, you can get a house. Now a lot of people are thinking, oh, it's not like that anymore. And you couple all that with like extra anxiety from like social media and the comparisons you mentioned earlier. Yeah, it makes sense why a lot of
Yeah.
people are at this age are feeling helpless, but you got to keep going. You can't. It's not over till you quit. You got to keep going. Take the setbacks like you
It,
said.
it should motivate you to work harder.
Sure.
That's the thing. Just I don't like this defeatist mentality and like complaining a lot. Like do everything you can, to build your life and to try and succeed in something, no matter what that is. You want to be the best plumber, go for that. You want to be the best, computer engineer, computer scientist, like do that. Just try. Yeah.
Tekken 8, you've been here since the beginning of Tekken. You played all the games. You have more experience than almost anyone else in the scene, right?
Yes.
Tekken 8 Season 2, It's bad. We're all doomer about it. It's getting better, but you know, there's still a lot of balancing issues. How do you think this compares to like some of the worst balance we've had in other Tekken games? Would you say it's not nearly as bad and like we're kind of because we're used to like more balanced games these days? Would you say it's more normal or would you say we've had like a lot worse times or is this like the worst?
Well, I mean, I've been around for a while, so
Yeah.
let me take you down memory lane.
Mhm.
Tekken 1, King's Downford 1 is plus 93 on block.
I remember that.
It launches on block. Okay. Tekken 2, Kazuya can sidestep. No other character can sidestep. So he just steps whatever you do and flash punches you for like 30% of your health.
Hmm.
Tekken 3, Ogre does his 12 frame unblockable waning moon into like death combo. Tag 1, Mishimas, Ogres, and Brian Bruce are playable. When the Changs, every other character is low tier. P-Jack doesn't have hitboxes. Tekken 4, Jin is an unbeatable raid boss. You give up. Tekken 5, this is console, by the way. After the
Steve.
arcade version of the game. Console, Steve has an infinite
Yeah.
from a sidestep, and he has a huge sidestep. Even if you do a poke, he sidesteps you. And now it's it's a legit infinite until you die, and it's easy to do. Yeah, suck on that one for a while. Tekken 6 is where it starts getting a bit more balanced. But Brian is still unbelievably strong. Steve is unbelievably strong. Jack, forgotten about a lot of the time, has a low that is like -1 on block, or is it even neutral on block?
I think
Or like -2.
it's minus
And
two.
it's yeah, -2, right? And it's +9 on a hit. +9. And then tag 2, the capos, not Tiger, but Eddie and Christie have largely a death combo from a safe 14 frame mid. So imagine, if you will, Kazuya's down for 2, that's abolishing fist, perfect electric. Imagine if Kazuya could do that in Tekken 8, but it's safe on block, and there's no execution, but perfect electric will come out automated every time, and it does 80% of your health bar. Yeah, suck on that
Yeah.
one for a little bit. And then we have Tekken 7, where Akuma can jump over the neutral, literally, with a 2D jump, in a game that has no anti-airs. He jumps over the neutral into a death combo if he wants. He launches you from a jab. He has a 1-frame startup invincibility that interrupts even strings. He can teleport, rendering himself invincible. He has special cancels, where he'll do a quote-unquote normal, cancel that into a special, leading to insane keep-out safety, where he will do dick jabs, then a whiff, do nothing, but if they connect on a hit, he'll do a tatsu and launch you. Has almost unbeatable tech traps, where he catches you back turn and kills you. He has fireballs. Yeah, it's just then we can get into geese if
Oh
you
God.
want. We
Yeah.
can get into Kunimitsu. We can get into Marduk. We can get into Fengwei. We can get into Zafina. A lot of people loved. This is also one of my favorite examples. Everyone says backdashing was so great, and backdashing is Tekken. And then I played against Russian sweats in Tekken 7, and all the Russians would play Zafina on a hitbox or a keyboard. And when they backdashed, a lot of people have forgotten that Zafina's backdash was OP in Tekken 7. When they started backdashing like that, you couldn't touch them.
Right.
You literally could not connect on them. And I'm not sure, is that pleasing? And people go like, well, it's hard to do, it's execution. I'm like, execution isn't interesting.
Right.
Strategy is interesting. So offense doesn't work because he's got a hitbox and he's pressing quickly. Offense doesn't work now. Is that interesting? Isn't it honestly more interesting when people go, okay, you actually need to know things now.
Right.
You need to know, can I duck this? Can I step this? Which side do I step? Can I punish this? That to me is more interesting than someone having a hitbox having good execution.
Mm-hmm.
So there, there's many ways of looking at it, but yeah, launch Leroy, launch Fakum Ram.
Of course.
I mean, are you kidding me? Like, but the grass is always greener on the other side. The current game is bad. The last game was great. People completely reevaluate and romanticize what has been. But I'm always cold-hearted and calculated with these things. I'm not swayed by emotion. I know what we had back then. And honestly, when I look at Tekken 7, I'm just like, I don't want to play that game. The load times alone kill the game for me. The graphics, I'm sorry, I'm going to sound like a dirty casual now, but the graphics kill it for me. It looks like shit.
Yeah.
Kazuya looks like shit. Look at his face in Tekken 7. I don't want to look at that. Like, it's just, and there are no voice lines either. Like, I like that about Tekken 8. The characters scream a lot. I like the voice lines. Everything has a lot of impact. I like the sound design. I like the instant rematch. In Tekken 7, anytime you rematch, back to loading screen for 30 seconds. I'm sorry, but I just can't deal with that. So, no, whenever I criticize Tekken 8, I try to fault it for what it does wrong, but I also try to give it credit for what it does right, and I contextualize it in a proper way, I think, and like it does so many things better than the predecessors. And to be honest, balancing wise, Tekken 8, you can say, well, it is balanced because everyone's OP.
We just saw Devil Jin in Grands, right? With Kudons, the worst character, supposedly, right?
Yeah, but it has to be said, but that is just testament to Kudons, because I watched that set and he's Breadman has better tools. Mm-hmm. Breadman on Leroy straight up has better tools. But Kudons takes him down with better fundamental skill, better placing of his attacks. He just uses worse tools. Double Jin's tools aren't good, but he's just going in there with back 1+2, down back 2, electric, demon paw, hell sweep, and he's just making it work because he is straight up the better Tekken player at that point in time. So,
and isn't that a testament? So many people nowadays are like, Tekken 8's unskillful, anyone can win. But at the end of the day, competitive play, the better player is still winning. There you go, right?
Yeah, it's such a stupid argument. Oh, it's just a casino 50. Anyone can win. And then you look at tournament, the players with the best defense win. Because that's the thing. When offense is so overtuned, you have to be highly skilled at defense. That's the thing. In Tekken 7, you could just throw a Magic 4, or you could backdash away. But that's easy.
Right.
Defending in Tekken 8 is super difficult. Because you need now proper fucking knowledge to get out of everything. And that's why you see Nii do these amazing things defense-wise. But that's also why Tekken 8 is so difficult on intermediate players, because you need to know so much now. In Tekken 7, you could backdash away, you could throw a Magic 4. You had so many easy defensive options that you don't have anymore. So Tekken 8 is a very, very hard game. And arguably the hardest Tekken game, to be honest.
So would you say the series, despite it all, is in a better place now than it's been in the past? Has it gotten better overall? If you had to, would you rather be playing 8 over the other ones?
Yes. Oh, 100%. Which is why I am playing Tekken 8. Mm-hmm. If I didn't like it, I would be playing Tekken 7. But I can't play Tekken 7 because it feels and looks like shit. So I can't play it. I absolutely prefer Tekken 8. And I found it comical when I was playing Ranked a while ago, and who do I run into? I run into the person that created the what is it called? Boycott Tekken 8. That website.
He's still playing.
He created it, but he's playing Tekken 8.
Oh my god!
It's like, but I think it also tells you a lot about these people, like, and how they play Tekken 24/7, and Tekken is their identity, and it's very hard for them to like. They're very hard to please. It's very hard to like. Bandai Namco have made so many mistakes, but they're also in a very. I can't say I envy their position. They have a community, especially with the loudmouths on Twitter, that are impossible to please. It's okay. You overtuned everyone, nerf them. But not my character. My character should be good. It's like, how do you please people like that? Like, it's... I think mistakes have been made on both sides, you know. But yeah, no, I'd much prefer Tekken 8. And to be honest, like let's just step out of our ultra loser ass basement dwelling sweaty ass, you know, gamer shoes. Let's just, if you have a friend who's not a hardcore gamer, which game are you gonna recommend to him, to Bob? Tekken 7 or Tekken 8?
Of course, right? 8.
I mean, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, grow Tekken 8. Oh, it's got a fun story
Yeah,
mode,
go
great
play
graphics, Unreal Engine 5, quick load times, customization mode is great. It's got a second story mode where you can see cool CG endings on all of the characters. It's got arcade quest if you want to do that. It's some of the game. Tekken Ball mode is back. It's super fun. Everyone loved it in Tekken 3. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
How much of a basement dweller do you have to be to say that as a total package, Tekken 8 is inferior to 7? You have to be the most smelly gamer out there. I'm sorry, but that is just a fact. Yeah.
Well, I think... Yeah, dude, remember the Tekken 7 story mode? Imagine casual players. Oh my god. It's a miracle that game did as well as it did. Because what the fuck?
But it was terrible, but you gotta understand, like, they made it on a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
You know, Harada told me in person that it was so hard to convince them to make it because a board of directors felt that Tekken series was over after Tag 2 because it was such a... It wasn't a failure, like, it was a catastrophe.
Yeah.
It was a catastrophe. Like, it did no business. It sold worse than Tekken 1, for God's sakes. So Harada, I think he told me in person he had to do like 3 different meetings and presentations to the board.
Oh, wow.
And present his vision. And eventually they get the green light, but with a small budget. And that is so reflected in story mode where they feel they have to fill out the time. And they're like, okay, invent a narrator. You know, the guy who does "Good morning, chicken." He's the narrator. Dude, can you just narrate this boring journalist to fill out the time and just garbage writing? And it's not no cutscenes even. It's just artwork, pictures.
Like the talking
fill out
faces.
Fill out the time. What more can we use we have no budget. Reuse assets from Tekken 7. Tekken 5 CG is used in Tekken 7 in story mode to fill out the time. It's just like, and the character models are worse than Tag 2. They are actually worse than Tag 2.
Yeah.
And a lot of animation is missing because it didn't go into Unreal Engine. And they used Unreal Engine because they couldn't afford, you know, using their own engine, you know, retooling it. It's like, it's always apparent on the screen that you are watching a budget game, you know. But, you know, thank the heavens for Tekken 7. I don't want to play it right now, but I'm never going to forget that it saved us all. You know, 12 million sales. It walked so Tekken 8 could run. And Tekken 8 could stumble as well, you know, which it did. But... yeah, I'm so grateful for Tekken 7, and I have some of my most fun memories with Tekken 7. In all its ridiculous glory, death comboing people with Geese Howard as a staple death combo on people. Like, so you know, we owe a lot to Tekken 7.
Yeah, we owe a lot to Tekken 7, and, you know, despite all the negativity in a lot of ways, like you said, Tekken 8 is like the best it's ever been in so many ways. Like, despite all the balancing issues, the story mode, high budget, best looking fighting game by far. Like, despite all the negativity, like, it's by far the best looking fighting game I've ever seen. Animations,
it's so
like,
good looking.
so good.
And then I played Street Fighter 6 for a while, and I was like, oh, it's a great 2D fighter, but Tekken is so much better.
It just like, feels so good to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, it made me appreciate Tekken 8 more, actually, because we talk about forced 50-50s in Tekken. Tekken has nothing on Street Fighter in like forced mix-ups. For the Oki, your character stands up on itself by itself. Forced strike throw mix-ups all the time. Throw loops all the time. Guess. Every character plays that, and it's like, it really made me admire Tekken so much more in terms of how many options your defensive options all the time. Don't like Kazuya's 50-50, stay on the ground. Toe kick him, kip up in his face, quick recovery, tech roll on the ground. Like, you just have so many options. It made me appreciate Tekken so much more, I gotta say. If a cool climate is what you're after, I mean, yeah, Sweden is your thing, you know, or Norway, Finland. You know, for us, it's not uncommon actually for the end of May to give you a temperature of 0 to 5 degrees Celsius.
You ever
That
gotten
is not
snow?
rare. Yeah, you can have snow in May. We've
I
had snowstorms in May. Absolutely, I can walk around in May and it's like a blizzard almost that lasts 5 days, and
Oh my
you see
God.
plowing trucks everywhere. Buses are canceled because they can't drive through the snow. It's not uncommon. We had a very mild winter though this time. Not a whole lot of snow, but we always get snow. Yeah. But yeah, here the sacrifice you make is that if you are lucky, you will have 3 months of summer. But there's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of rain as well. At least one of those months is going to be rain. And also, a lot of people underestimate what that does to your mental sanity. You know, when, say, November to February, the sun is up for like 4 hours per day. The rest of
Jesus.
it is like pitch black.
Right.
Pitch black, insanely cold. It will be 0 degrees to -20, and people just don't go outside due to that. And it's a very weird thing waking up and, you know, I take my kid to school and it's like, you know, 8 a.m. in the morning and it's pitch black. It doesn't motivate you too much to do a lot with your day when you just wake up to black. You go out and it's pitch black.
Right.
And during lunch, it is it's light outside, but it's cloudy. You won't see the sun. It's a gray mess, and I still feel tired. And at 2 p.m., the sun goes down again, and now it's pitch black at 2 p.m. Most people start getting, I mean, due to how your body regulates, you know, your sleep, due to just seeing pitch black, you feel tired all the time. And by 6 p.m., when you have dinner, you almost feel like it's 9, 10 p.m. You just feel so tired, and lack of D vitamin, lack of sun exposure, you lose energy. It can affect your mental health a lot. You can
Yeah.
lose confidence. You can get a lot of anxiety. You go out and meet people less due to, you know, that's a natural reaction to the cold and everything. So it's like a lot of people get depressed during the winter here, and it's for good reason. So yeah, I don't know. That's a hefty price to pay living in Sweden. And, you know, my father, who's been here for so long, albeit, you know, lived in France for like 25 years. But he, with all of his years in Sweden, he just doesn't get used to it.
Yeah.
And now at like 67, he says like, you know what, Adrian, yeah, this is just getting worse and worse for me. Like you'd think it's one of those things where it's like you'd think it would get easier with the years, but it doesn't. And that's why also a lot of Swedes, if they have the resources, if they have a capital, as soon as they retire, they move to like Portugal or Spain.
Right.
Huge chunk of Swedish senior citizens have done that. And you know, you fully understand them.
Yeah, it's probably just like the case that we're just like not really meant for that, right? Like you said, it probably fucks with your circadian rhythm really, really badly. Like it's, yeah, you're less social, you're inside all the time. Like, yeah, no wonder people are getting depressed. It sounds
Exactly.
rough.
Yeah. And now during the summer, you have the opposite. The sun is up until 11:30 p.m.
Jesus.
and then the sun rises at 2 a.m. It's just light outside all the time. It's just it's very weird. Yeah.
Do you think it's worth it to be in Sweden?
Yeah, I love Sweden. It's like my sister's husband, who I love so much. He's from Algeria. He's you know, he's had a very good life. He's done very well for himself. He's been able to travel the entire world. He travels like he's a businessman, so he travels like once per week or every 2 weeks. He travels, and they as a family vacation, they travel to new countries almost every year, travels all the time. But he still says like Stockholm during the summer at its peak is probably the most beautiful city. And I'm biased, but I'm in agreement with him. It's like there's a lot of water in
Yeah.
the center of Stockholm. And then when you walk in the very city, you have a royal castle. Next to that, you have the oldest part of Stockholm, which is the old town. And there you have some very beautiful churches like Riddarholmskyrkan, which roughly translates to, the knights, the Church of the Knights, basically. And there you have Sweden's arguably most famous king is buried there, Gustavus Adolphus II. It's a very, very beautiful church. And from there, you walk to like South Central, which is like, it's always the hipster part of like, feels like any capital city. But there you have a hipster part of Stockholm, which is really cool in many ways. But most of the buildings in the inner city are like century-old buildings that all have this orange a color to them. They're painted orange, and then the ceilings are typically painted turquoise or darker. And during the summer, where you have the sun hit these buildings, and then it's all surrounded by clear blue water, and you have a blue sky. It's just the most beautiful color palette. It is very, very pleasing to look at. And then still in this center, you have the royal hunting grounds, Djurgården, very close to the city center. So you have nature along that water, which actually turns into proper like woods that goes right out of the city. Yeah, there's a lot to say about Stockholm. It's not a very big city, but it felt like a good review when Sister's husband said that he just finds it peak. But his problem is the climate, because he likes a warmer climate, and to him it's like, I love summer in Stockholm, but then you get the fuck out, basically.
Just 3 months of the year is what you're there for.
Exactly. Then you can live there, and then preferably not. And it's hard to not agree with him. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Stockholm's definitely on the list. I think one of the cool things about Europe, what I'm excited to do when I go there, is like you have access to so many different places for travel, right? When you're in North America, you're kind of fucked. Like you can go Canada, the US, like Mexico. A lot of people go to like the Caribbean, but if you want to go to Europe, it's so far. Like it's so far. And it's expensive. But when you're in like the UK, for example, I see like 90-pound return flights to like Spain for a weekend, to like France. It's crazy how much more like cool places you can go to. Maybe it just seems cool because I'm like foreign, but you have so much more available to you when you're in Europe, it feels like, just for traveling.
Yeah, no, I get that. Maybe it is more connected, but probably also you go like grass is greener on the other side. A lot
Yeah.
of people who talk to Canadians go like, "Oh, you guys have such quick access to the US. Oh my God, that's so amazing because US is seen as the country,
Right.
and like we've all grown up with US culture and media. So of course for us it's like Canadians, Canada seems like an awesome place to live, and then you can visit the US whenever you want to. But I do get your point that if you don't want to go to the US or like South America, then you're going to have to take a big old flight. But I also, I hate flying, and going to the US, it's like 9-hour flight over the Atlantic, and it's just a massive pain in the ass. I'd love to go back. Would even be nice to visit Canada at some point, but it's like, I just hate flying. And then, as you said, it's very nice to have Europe, because Europe is a super diverse place in terms of cultures, and nations. And here you can just take a quick, pretty cheap flight to really anything you want. So that is pretty cool. Yeah.
Have you ever like driven through? I know a lot of people like you can drive, right, to a lot of the places there.
Oh, I can't because I'm 40 years old and I don't have a driver's license.
Oh, gotcha.
Peak Sigma, peak Giga Chad. It's like I don't know. I've always been like, well, I'll do it at some point, because Stockholm, I just live here. I don't really go anywhere outside of Stockholm. And thing with Stockholm is that I don't mind walking. I can walk to most places, and then if you don't want to walk, you have amazing public transport. You know, buses, subway, commute trains, regional, national trains. It's like whatever the fuck you want, you have it. So I'm just like, and in these days as well, you know, if I gotta move, I just get a fucking truck or I get some friends to help me. My friends have cars. I'm a fucking leech. No, but it's like, yeah. I don't want to die without a driver's license though, so I'm thinking about maybe giving it to myself as like a birthday present or something. But yeah, absolutely. People drive, do road trips in Europe. It's very popular. Maybe I should do it at some point. Yeah. Do you drive? No, do you drive yourself to the US?
Yeah, I have actually. I've only driven there once. Usually I fly because actually it's pretty cheap to fly to the U.S. from here because we're close. But
Yeah.
dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually super jealous of you. You know, like everyone always says, "Oh, European cities, they're so like walkable. You don't need cars. We have good like public infrastructure." I always hear that, and I'm like, these fuckers are either lying or they're the most lucky people. Because in North America, it's just not a thing. Like we don't have walkable cities. It's so bad. It's so bad like everywhere. I think it's definitely a
Yeah.
culture thing. Everyone just drives here. Like I think there's like 95% of people drive, and it's like not out of because they want to. If it was like what percentage of people want to drive, I'm sure it'd be way lower. You have to get to work because most of our towns or our cities are just not designed to be walkable. So I think if you live in a place where you don't have to drive, I think that actually sounds awesome. I'd love to go to like a super walkable city, you know?
Yeah, yeah, no, it's super nice. Of course, you know, plenty of people I know have gone to LA, for example, and they tell me like, yeah, the city is absolutely gigantic, and
Yeah.
there's so much distance between all these spots you want to go to, and the exactly public transport is insanely unreliable. It's not built out enough compared to what you're used to coming from like Scandinavia or Sweden. So there you have to rent a car. It just
Yeah.
otherwise it doesn't work. Yeah.
I think it kind of sucks because like having to get a car, first of all, it's really expensive. Like if you're just like trying to like grind work and like just hustle and like just pay your bills, adding a car is like so much expense. But yeah, a lot of the time you're just forced to, and sometimes you have to move just for work. It's
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm
rough.
I'm definitely too cheap to get a car.
Yeah.
It's like to me, it's like it's absolutely as you said, it's about finances because if I get a car, it would cost me just standing still, me not using it. So we're not talking about gas now. I would pay a couple of thousand, you know, per month.
Hmm.
Just having a spot to park it outside my building would probably be like $150 per month. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm not interested in that. When I do well without it, you know, and I'm renting, so I'm trying to save up to buy a God, what would you call it in English? Condo?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. You buy an apartment inside of a building
Hmm.
that's sort of co-owned by everyone. You know, I need to save up for that, and it's insanely expensive in Stockholm.
Yeah.
I certainly don't need more expenses, you
Hmm.
know, per month. Yeah, no, car is just for me. Why would I do it? Also, when there are so many services now, if you want to, you know, rent a car for like a few hours or there's so many services now. Like, oh, I need to get rid of this huge cabinet I have in my apartment. Well, there's an app for that. You
Right.
just put it up like, $10.
Hmm.
I offer $10 to anyone who wants to pick this up and take it to the fucking junkyard or scraps or whatever, and someone does it. It's like you don't really need a car, I feel.
Does Sweden have like a overall like a good train system? Like if you're like in like the suburbs or like outskirts and you want to get like to Stockholm or just like another big city, do you guys have a good train?
Absolutely. Pretty much everyone has access to a commute train. Yes.
Huh.
And they have become more unreliable the last 2 years, but when you compare it to some other places I've been to, it's insanely reliable. and Swedes have high standards on public transport, so you're always connected. Yeah, no, that's just never a problem here. And you have the great regional trains that go sort of fucking everywhere in the country. I like to hike a lot, so I go to the mountains in the north that are, it's a very long country, Sweden, like
Right.
vertically, like this. And so Stockholm is to the south, southeast, and you have to we have to take a train every time I go with my buddies. It's like 10 hours, so it goes in the middle of the night. You just sleep and then you wake up and you're there. But those trains are super reliable, go all the time. Yeah, to be honest, wherever you want to go, there's always a train. So
It,
it's very nice.
is it expensive or is it like reasonable?
The trains,
Yeah.
it's not that bad.
Huh.
I mean, those trains, yeah, well, a 10-hour train ride is like $60. It's
Dude,
not that bad.
I only ask because yeah, I was looking into for the UK obviously for moving there, and the one thing about the UK is they have a horrible train system. I think it's because like they get no funding from the government. It's all like 100% privately owned. But I was looking at it.
Yeah.
It's like if you're in like a town like 50 miles from London, you're looking at like 99 quid for like a return just to go to London for the day and come back. And it's like a 40-minute train ride. I was so confused. I'm glad to hear Sweden doesn't have to deal with that shit because that sounds horrid.
It probably is that expensive. I mean, I've talked with a couple of UK Tekken guys, who live in like Birmingham,
Hmm.
as some of them live in very small cities, and I'm like, always like, oh, okay, I'm gonna visit my sister in London. How would this work if we met up in London, And they're like, well, I would have to take this train that doesn't go often at all, cost a fuck ton of money.
Hmm.
So yeah, it seems to be a little bit different in the UK, but again, it just has to be said that I think Sweden in general does that really well. Yeah.
Huh, well, listen, you're definitely selling me on Sweden. I gotta go there at some point. It's on the list. There's gonna be so
As
many
long
cool
as you don't mind.
places.
Yeah, no, it's great. I'll try and sell it every day, but as long as you don't mind getting ultra depressed during the winter.
Dude, thanks again for coming on. It was awesome to get the chance to talk to you. This was super fun, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's my pleasure. You're such a nice guy. I think this was also a really good talk, and I thought the first talk was amazing
Yeah.
enough. It was so good. So my pleasure, dude. Hope I can be back at some other point, and I hope you have great sleep, I guess you